What's up, y'all? Conor Michael Smith here, and I just had a great talk with the guys at the Creative Mindset. Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of the Creative Mindset. Today we have a very, very special guest. I say this every episode, but this guest is very special and very unique in a way that we have not seen. This is a musician by nature. I happened to actually, when I was doing my research, they say this is a musician that just happens to rap. His journey has been crazy over the last, 8 years? Creative Mindset family, please welcome Conor Michael Smith.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Appreciate you, man.
this is fun.
How fun
Let's
is
go.
it?
It's so
Let's
fun.
go.
I mean, we'll start it off. I just need to address the elephant that this is the first. This is like the first proper solo interview I've had in like 5 years. So it means a lot to me. I've seen your guys' work, and I was just really, really honored that you reached out to me because, man, I've been just kind of like very tucked away and focused on some other stuff, and this like brings me back to like what I love to do, which is like the music and artist thing. So
I'm
appreciate
honored.
it.
I'm so honored that you came because we'll get more into the specifics of your journey, but just for you to come out your shell and then come sit with us, and we do this for the city. This is the most important. Me myself, I didn't know about who you were, but then after learning your story, I was like, man, this is crazy.
Mm.
More people need to know about you. Our family need to know about you. So big ups to Don, because Don was actually a fan and actually caught wind of your work, and he was like, yo, we need to get him on the show.
Let's go.
Man, so I want to start, man. You are from Shaker,
Yes.
correct? I know you went to Shaker High School, and if I'm correct, you are a violinist.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Were you like classically trained?
Yeah, that was my start in music.
Okay, how old were
Yeah.
you?
I was 6 years old, and my grandma, well, my nona, she she thought it was important that I had violin lessons from an
Mhm.
early age. My dad played. We have the violin that I play is a family heirloom that's been in my family for a while. Like my great uncle, I think like second great uncle or something.
Mhm.
He fought in World War II, and that was his violin. And so it's like this family heirloom that's been passed down through generations. So um, when I was old enough to, because violins go by sizes, you get like a quarter size, half, 3/4,
Mhm.
and then you get the full one. So when I graduated to receive that, it kind of flipped a different switch that this is like a generational, um, it's a generational thing I'm a part of. So it's awesome. And so yeah, I started playing when I was 6, and before I ever had a lesson, I learned how to play. I think I learned how to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star just by myself, and I think my mom and dad they were like, "That's pretty impressive." Now I had no clue what level that would be at. I just was like, "This is how you do it." So they put me in lessons right after, and my nona helped support that throughout my early years.
That's fire.
Yeah.
So was that the instrument that you stuck with through orchestra as well?
Yeah, funny enough, with violin, I
Mhm.
actually got bored of it. It's kind of like, you're given something and you're told you're good at it and like this is your path and keep doing this. Naturally, as a kid, when I'm growing up and getting into other things and making my own choices,
Mhm.
I started to resent it. Like the kids that I thought were cool all played sports, and I played sports as well, but
Mhm.
I was like the virtuoso and I was like, I want to be like on the team and doing all this, but my parents kind of said, you have a gift. So I played throughout middle school, high school, elementary, um, but even found myself gravitating more towards piano or, writing. And then I found rap and all this other the stuff started just pour in, and I was like, I'm not this, I'm this. But then when I started to do this, what I'm doing now, I realized what a gift it was that I was given that. So,
It's always
yeah.
hard to see as a kid because you got like the popular thing that's going on. And as a kid, you know, it's kind of messed up to say you kind of go with the wave, but you kind of go with the wave because that's what's more common and more popular and more, I mean, I can't say looked upon, but that's the thing what kids are doing. Like if everybody playing sports, you're gonna play sports for sure. It was probably like a small group of kids who played violin. It was like, yeah, I want to do this over here. You know, I'm kind of
Hmm.
cool with this, but I don't want to do that right there.
Yeah,
Did you have any hardships with friends or like groups of people? Because
for
listening to
sure.
some of your music, I heard you say, I can't remember the line verbatim how you said it, but it was kind of, you basically were reflecting like, man, it's messed up. I made fun of people with
Mm,
stuff that wasn't cool, you know?
mm,
So did you ever face any of those things? Because it doesn't matter. Your friends gonna always give you a hard time.
right.
But did you ever have any people give you a hard time for, man, this guy's playing violin?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, there's a lot of words that we can't say here that I was called, but
You can say it. No, I'm just.
um, yeah. Well, for context as well, I moved around a lot.
Hmm.
So I was born in Chicago, moved to Seattle for 4 years, spent 8 years going through the Shaker school system. So I went to Lomond, I went to Woodbury. So that's why I consider myself like from here. But then
Hmm.
my family moved to DC. And so when I was in DC, I went to 3 different schools while I was there. We moved 3 different times. And then I came back for my sophomore year, then left, and then the show, like I did the ABC show after that. So my life was kind of like choo 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 choo. And one of the repercussions of that was the fact that I had to make new friends every year. Like I grew up with my best friends, and then I had to say bye to them. And then you go to the next school, and then you got to say bye to them again, and so on and so forth. So my heart just kind of hardened after a while because I just felt like, okay, no one's really gonna stick around and be around for me, so I'm just gonna learn to accept that and just move forward. And I think because of that, the callousness, it led me to not treat relationships with as much uh, delicately. Like I wasn't able to, like I just didn't care. At some point, I didn't care if I offended anybody,
Mm.
and especially with my parents too, because my parents and I had a rocky relationship during those years. And so like for a while it was just this isolation period where I was so angry, I was so frustrated, and it wasn't until my later years of connecting with God and my faith that I started to look internally and try to be more accountable for the part that I play, because I used to just point the finger like, you did this to me, you did da 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 da, with one, not realizing how blessed I was, and two, not realizing that I am a man with free will, and I have my part to play in that. And there's a lot of people who um, I hurt as a result, even if it's not like it's nothing crazy, but like I think it's healthy to have regrets, you know,
Yeah, sure.
as long as as long as that doesn't turn into shame, of course.
That makes a
So,
lot of sense because I started to ask you. I was gonna save for a later moment when we started talking about mental health. Bouncing around like that, do you feel like that gave you, well, not give you, but put you in a space where you didn't cherish relationships much?
yes.
And that's kind of like that thing that hards your heart because I had a friend that had the same experience as well as even my oldest brother. You move around so a lot to where you kind of take relationships for granted because you have to consistently just pick up and meet new people, and it's like starting all over again. It's nothing to you, so it's like, yeah, when oh, you're here for a season. Who knows how long I'm going to be in this time and in this place, and even understanding pointing the finger because you were minor, so you got to go with your family, but then
Yeah.
seeing the light like, okay, I'm blessed because I actually got to experience these different cultures. Even in DC, these guys they probably love the violin right there because those were the kids of like the politicians, you know what I mean? But then when you were in, what did you say, Chicago?
Yeah.
Chicago's like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Like, we don't do that around here.
Yeah.
So each demographic taught you something culturally.
That's right. And I forgot to mention like the positive aspect, because I attribute a lot of my just independence and confidence to learning to be by myself. I think there's something to be said about the kid that does grow up with the same friends, same like when they're sheltered. And I'm grateful that I it doesn't matter who, like I just feel like whatever situation I'm in, I'm like I'm gonna figure it out.
I want to backpedal a little bit because typically as a youth or adolescent, when we go through things, we kind of cling to music.
Hmm.
And I want to know what was your musical influences during that time when was you driving yourself towards music to have some kind of outlet? Because if you're going through a lot, you
Hmm.
got to have some kind of creative outlet. Did that lead to writing? Did that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it. Oh man, there's a lot of imagery that pops up. Um, because I remember I was gifted a keyboard, a Casio keyboard, and it had a looping capability. So when I get into it was really when I found rap. I think things changed for me because it was just full expression. And with other types of music, especially given that like I'm practicing violin every single day. I'm in orchestra outside of school and in school. So when I found like this music, it and I heard people's stories and how everything about it just like moved me, and it made me feel like I was seen, even if I didn't relate to any, like it was like the emotion behind it
What is
was
So
the
when did you find it and who was it?
when I'm trying to think the first. It was kind of like a few people. There was Jay-Z, there was Kanye, there was Eminem, there was like around that time it was like Lil Wayne and Drake. Like that was like the Young Money
Time stamp me. What
times.
year? What
Yeah,
year?
2010,
Okay, that was a good year.
2011.
yeah.
That's
Everybody
that.
was doing something.
Yeah,
So that was recovery Eminem.
it was. That was my first, bro. My first Eminem song I ever heard was Not Afraid.
Really?
I know,
Word.
I
That's
know.
so
I know. I
that's
could see
so
your faces.
spiritual.
I know.
That's so
Well, I
spiritual
mean,
for Eminem. That's like reformed
I
Eminem.
know.
yes,
That
it
was my
It's
is.
first
not
impression of
murderous.
him was,
Putting Kim in the trunk, Eminem.
Yeah,
yeah,
you found Eminem healed.
I
Yeah.
did. I
Or
did.
healing.
Maybe that's a good thing.
I mean, it's subjective, because I kind of would have preferred you to find him when he was a drug addict, on
Right.
volumes and mushrooms. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like Slim Shady LP. Like to this day, I
Right.
still don't understand why my mom let me buy that. I don't even think she knew it was on it.
Yeah, that's a wild present.
She seen a white boy and
Yeah.
said, this can't be that violent.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was that, but that was when it kind of like settled that I liked this type of music.
Mhm.
hmm
And then it was like 2013 when Kendrick, Cole, and then like 20 like Logic was at the tail of that, and Mac Miller was starting to do cool stuff. And then yeah, it was like that whole like Chance started. It was the blog era.
Mhm.
That was where I really like fell in love with it.
That was a good time. That was a magical moment in music, I say.
Yeah, definitely
Especially
was.
since it was kind of pivoting. They were established, or not they, but culture was establishing the greats, which at that time was like Kendrick, Drake, Cole, Big Sean, Wale,
Mhm.
and then
Hmm.
two of those kind of fell to the wayside and fell in their own pocket, and we kept the mainstream, kept the big three. But
Yeah,
yeah, that was a great time in music. It was still very independent. There was a lot of individualism. The mixtape era was still going at that time as well.
Dat Piff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great time. Even live mixtapes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know live mixtapes is Cleveland based too, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man, that was a really, really good time for sure, for
That
sure.
was a that was an interest. There's an interesting tension with my parents that you just made me think of. That uh, I was not allowed to listen to explicit music.
I believe it.
So like, and that was in the era where you had to buy like the singles on iTunes. So one like I remember it was Eminem. It was Renegade with Jay-Z.
Mhm.
I had to go to Genius
Hmm.
and send my mom like the lyrics in order for her to like give me the permission to then buy the song.
That's wild.
And so like that was my process, was like, are these lyrics, does mom approve of the lyrics? And then that would determine whether I had it on.
Is that
Did she
is
approve?
that
Oh no,
is
wait, wait.
that
Did she approve it?
No, she didn't. But
is
so that led to other alternate methods. You know, I found how to pirate it. I
It's okay. We all did it. You don't
Yeah.
have to be proud.
that's why the DatPiff thing was so clutch, because you could just download it for free.
Yeah.
So that's why those guys became my favorite artists. But I remember my friend Anthony Pearl. Shout out Anthony. He had 2 iPods.
Mm.
He gave me one of them,
Mm.
and I would hide it in my
Shout out,
drawer.
Ant.
And then like I had the skull candy, so I would like walk to school. My walk was like 30 minutes long. Just I remember it was like, yeah, Soldier Boy too. That was an era.
Was that was the censoring of music, is that because of the religious background or your family, the way that they brought you up?
Yeah, I think so. I think, my dad always tried to instill good morals and respect. And, I mean, we all know, like, those lyrics, like, in a lot of those songs, like, this thing, the women and, the drugs, the violence, like, all that stuff is just not, like, my mom was like, why are you into this? Like, we've spent all this time trying to, like, like, ground you and, like, make sure you're good. So I could definitely see why they were concerned. But I really wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't taking in like that. I didn't look at it like that. I just looked at it as art, I think, and I just felt it in a way I didn't feel other, types of music.
What other genres were you able to listen to outside of rap then? What was the more acceptable genre?
You guys were like what my parents listened to?
Or just what they were okay with you listening to? Or what, because
I don't know.
You're-
They
you're
didn't
cl-
really
you're-
like any of the stuff I liked, man. Like
because by you being classically trained, that sounds acceptable already. So we're on
Yeah.
classical music.
Well, yeah, classical music. I was real into soundtracks.
Okay.
So like John Williams, that was like my goat as a kid.
this
Which is
orchestra.
like, yeah, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Harry Potter.
Some of the most beautiful music ever
Beautiful.
without the picture to it.
Yeah.
It is.
Exactly, yeah. And other than that, I mean, my dad, he likes Bruce Springsteen. So like, we listen to that on the road trips. Like, my family's got Irish roots, so we'd hear like the Irish music or Christmas music. But my family's really they don't listen to music really like
Okay,
that.
so-
So I think that's why I also was so like intense with it. Like, I love this because it like was absent in my
Mhm.
house. So
Yeah, that's a crazy experience. I'm glad you shared that with us because like I can't even really tell you the very first rap song I ever heard. I'm pretty sure it was probably like a LL Cool J song, like for sure. Because my dad had like this LL Cool J tape with like a lot of his videos on it. Like back in the '80s, they used to make these tapes, and they would have like all the videos to like the songs to an album. And I remember it was a song called "I'm the Type of Guy," and that song was basically talking about what type of guy he was to do with your girl. Like, but what made me like the song as a kid is because you ever seen Wizard of Oz?
yeah,
And then when the Wicked Witch had like the minions and they that was the beat. Like
they
that was
sampled that.
yeah.
Whoa,
So like that's what made me really like the
I gotta
song
check that out.
what it's called. I'm the type of guy.
Oh, that's heavy.
Like the line I remember the most is I'm the type of guy that come over and leave my dirty drawers in your hamper. Like and like in the dude,
How
like
old
he
were
messing
you?
with it. I probably was young, like 4 or 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like 4 or 5.
So you're reminding me, my first song.
Mhm.
This is like lightweight embarrassing, but
It's not. Go ahead.
it was Right Round by Flo Rida.
I'm not even hip to that song, dude.
I'm not
Like
either.
the "You Spin My Head Right Round."
Oh shit.
Oh man.
That joint was like the
Damn.
first one where I was like, whoa. He was kind of flowing on there. Like, I feel like Flo Rida doesn't get enough credit, but he's got some. He was flowing
He
on
got a
there.
lot of ringtone downloads. That's for sure.
So
Like,
I
Yes.
remember the original song that he sampled for that, but the when I think about Flow Rider, the song I think about is that wonderful feeling.
uh, sometimes, yeah,
Sometimes I got a good
that one was
feeling.
hard too.
Yeah, and that just reminds me of like partying,
Yeah.
clubbing, drinking, like big time.
Okay.
So here at the Creative Mindset, we like to talk about mental health. And mental health is a big thing. I heard my bro over here, he was prepping you and telling you about how this is our vehicle to mental organization. So you became a star fast. What what pivoted from singing to rap? What made you make that decision?
I wasn't even singing. I firstly, oh, because that's funny. Yeah, because I
In real
guess with the
life.
context of yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, I mean, I could break down the story for you guys how that came
Yeah.
about
Let's go
if you
for
want. With
it. If you
the,
wanna share.
I would love to. It was very. I think this will tie in with the mental health aspect too. This was one of the worst times of my life. This was the transition from my last year in Virginia to coming back to Shaker. And during that time, I had really fallen in love with rap and was like, this is what I want to do. And the defining moment for that, I saw J. Cole on the 2014 Forest Hills Drive Tour
Mm.
in Virginia. And the way the stage was set up with his roof and like he was like sitting on it with the for the intro and just like I was looking around at all the lights and just seeing how he conducted himself and just effortlessly like commanded the room. I thought that's what I want to do. And so I got tunnel vision writing every single day. I'm like I used to post my Snapchat story verse a day and it'd be like my notebook is like and I was just so hungry for this. I even at the beginning when I first came back to Shaker, I was like I'm a new guy, like I'm gonna because I didn't necessarily have the respect as a rapper in Virginia, but when I came to Shaker, I thought clean slate. I can be whoever I want to be. And so I'm going to show them who I really am. I would do this thing every Thursday. It was like I would freestyle at lunch.
Mm.
And it just started with my friends at the table, that type of thing. And then this one time, so I had a real bad relationship with school, and so I would just skip some days. And so this one day I was at home, like I just decided not to go to school that day, and my friend Hayden, shout out Hayden, he goes, "Bro, you should rap at lunch today." I'm like, "I'm at home, bro. Like, what do you mean?" He's like, "You should just do it." So I was like, "Okay." I walked about 45 minutes to the high school. I went to lunch and the people who were there, they were like, "We need everybody to see this." So they started going to every single table and being like, "Yo, come outside. This dude's about to rap." That's not what they said. They said the white boy's about to go rap. And so that like a lot of people were just so excited to see that. And so when in Shaker, the cafeteria is 2 levels, and the bottom level has an outside patio type setting. And so I'm out there on the patio, and you just see this swarm of people entering outside, and the lunch ladies are on their walkies like they think a fight's happening or something, and then they just see me, and a lot of people didn't even know what was happening. I think they were just following the crowd. But then I'm sitting there, and I like at this time all I would do with my time was write bars. Like that's all I did. And so I'm just going through the Rolodex of every verse I've written and just verse, 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 verse. And one of my friends in my class, Morgan, shout out to Morgan, she recorded it and she sent it to me and I posted this one clip and the joint went crazy on Twitter. And so I was getting all this from that. Ray Jr. reached out to me. Shout out to Ray also. And he helped me he put me in the studio. He shot videos with me. He like introduced me to other artists and just like he would pull up to my house in his blue Maserati. And I thought I was like so cool and just like take me around town with him and wherever he was going. And so I was, but so I felt awesome, but I was failing school. So I remember I remember just like I'm telling my parent, I'm like, I'm gonna make it. Like you guys don't understand. You don't see what I see. I know I can do this. I'm doing it. Like people don't get these opportunities that I'm getting. Like I just have to do this. And it was just this, this no. And looking back, I definitely understand, because if I was a parent and like I would want my kid to do well in school. I think that's important. But I think it was the attitude behind why you do school that was it just felt like I wasn't appreciated for who I really wanted to be. It was like that was kind of discarded unless I did this. And so during that time I actually went to I went to the IC, which is a program for kids who are doing bad in school basically and they need to catch up on their grades. For me, I just wanted to get my GED and be done with school. And I did that. And while I was in there, it was just like this real dark moment because I knew I'm about to turn 18 and I don't really have my life together. I don't have like enough leverage, let's say like music wise. Like I've had a couple cool moments, but nothing to set up a career.
All right.
And I remember like praying to God one night while I was on a walk and I was like, God, I just feel like this is what I'm supposed to do and I just need you to show me that it's possible. That I know I'm not crazy, but like, okay, if you show me that this is possible, then I also feel like I could help other people too. And within the next month, I get one DM on my Instagram and it was from a casting producer from ABC and they asked me, hey, would you be interested in being on this TV show? I had like a few music videos out with like 1,000 views, and most of them were me. Like I would go to this website, it was like free YouTube views. I would like make sure it had like I would like go make new accounts and like it and comment. So the fact that they even found that is crazy to me. And yeah, sure enough, I audition on Skype. They fly me out to LA. I auditioned in front of the producers of ABC. It was like a boardroom with like 30 producers, just like with clipboards looking at you. And I just freestyled for 15 minutes. And so they were like, yeah, you're great. They just, I got the call that I made the show. And so I'm like, let's go. Like I told y'all, like I told you. And that little seed of pride, just like, but not only did I go on the show, I thought I was going to do a couple episodes, take the audience I got and transition it to someone else or transition it to another path. But I end up winning the show with the five winners of the show. And as a rapper, like I learned to sing on the show. Like they were like, you need to also sing if you're going to be on this. So I did that, and it was
learned singing in real time there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Because I know that's a prerequisite to being a part of a boy band. Every boy band always has a rapper, but you need to harmonize. And for your wait till it's time for your verse. And
shout out to Timbaland because I think if Timbaland wasn't one of the judges, I don't know if I would have gotten as far because like I feel like he got it. Like he understood what I was trying to do. And I just think it made me better because I think if I was just on like a pop show and as a rapper, then you're not as like it's just cool that you rap. Like they're not really like, oh, he said this and the flow was
they're not
like
vocally
that.
in tune.
Yeah, but with Timbaland there, I was like, ooh, I have to
Oh yeah,
This
something I
dude
was
was
gonna
in the
look.
studio with Jay-Z. Like
Yeah.
he made
Hmm.
all these albums, all these songs, Kanye and um, Pharrell. So it was just a real test, a real like it was like an NBA tryout. That's how it felt. And I was
Hmm.
like, I gotta crush this. Um,
So when you going through this whole process, how are you handling things mentally during this
I
time?
was handling it well at first. At first, I was just so grateful for every moment. Like the nights where I would just I would walk all like all around the the neighborhood and further just praying and just like one day. And so as I'm on these stages, Timbaland's like right there, and I'm meeting new friends who also do music and are the kids from their school who are like the outcasts because they do music, but we're all like together. I just felt like I have my place. Like
Mhm.
one, God is real for sure.
Yes.
Two, like he loves me like for real. Like he answered. He gave me more than I asked. Like I asked him that my music video could have at least like 60,000 views on it.
Hmm.
That's what I really wanted, and
Hmm.
he put me on the show.
Mhm.
Every Friday after an episode dropped, my phone's just, we love you, we love you. Oh my gosh, I'm a new fan. Da, 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 da. I was going live, and all these people were, and then I would speak. I would speak about my journey, and I would see people would come up to me in real time, be like, when you said this like really meant a lot to me, and people would be crying or telling me stories and saying like, you saved my life and this and that, and I was like, it was like everything I prayed for was happening in real time. Now, of course, when you receive what you ask for,
Mhm.
sometimes you forget who gave it to you.
Hmm.
And so I think there was a period there towards the end of 2018 where I was like, I did this. Like, I did this. This was me. This was me. Started to forget the favor and um, the favor I'd been given. And thankfully, that led me right back to prayer. And I remember at the end of 2018, I was like, this band thing is awesome. Because, like, 3 days after we won the show, we went to the VMAs. And so I'm sitting there. I'm like, that's Kendrick Lamar. Lil Uzi Vert, I was behind him in line to go through security. I'm like,
Mhm.
what is happening right now? Like, this is insane. Ed Sheeran's right there. So and so's right there. Like, we're sitting behind Lil B. I'm like,
Mhm.
what is going on? What is my life? To then like interviews and radio stations and shows. Um, but there was still like a little bit of an emptiness, and I thought to myself like, God, like what? This is cool, but this isn't why I started. I didn't think I would ever be in like a boy band. Like I wanna rap for like I wanna do me.
Hmm.
Like, can you give me? Can we do that next? I was like, the last one worked, so can we? I want to know like like what I do. Like I want me to do something. Um, and that same year, I had a few like shout out Malcolm and Bezak. Um, Malcolm's a singer, Bezak's a beatboxer. We do these videos where I'm like playing violin and he'd sing, and then I would do a verse, and like that got posted on Double XL, and then I dropped a few freestyles, and those went like viral on YouTube, and Chris Brown posted me, and like I was getting this like I was like, oh wow, like I'm building like my own thing.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Um, and but but before I received some of those things, I transparently, oh man, I'm just gonna say it. I knew I can't just receive something without doing something also like for God. That's just how what I felt was respectful. I was like, what what can I do for you? The first thing that came to my mind was like, uh, sen- like lust, like working on my heart, how I view um, women, and how that has affected me as a man. And I was like 19 at the time, so it was like the years where you're like really trying to figure out stuff. And in the process of me going forward with being more like out there, that was something that I battled. That was like the first major, I would say, like sin I had to like really wrestle with and work to overcome. And so I know that's a lot, but I
No,
just
you
felt
good.
like
No, you good, man. Was this around the time that the band disbanded?
this was during
This
this
is
was like
during
the
that
last
process.
year.
So you was just going through a lot. It was a transition phase. You was almost in like in the snake season where they're shedding their skin, you get new skin, you
Yeah,
get uncomfortable.
yeah.
What was that transition like moving from being at such a height and then the band breaking up and you finding yourself back isolated? It's kind of like similar to what you were saying before about moving,
Yes. Yeah.
having to be a chameleon to a certain degree.
It's like we're doing it again.
Yeah, and so what is that transition is like, and how do you get back into doing rap?
Yeah, so beginning of 2020, we decided that, funny enough, I did my first solo show that year. So I was like ready to go full force with my music. And the band, we were just like, I feel like we were just growing apart and we were just disagreeing on everything. And we had a management situation as well that was uh, stressful to say the least. And we were in the studio. We were like, let's just like let's just call it. Like I mean, that's not how it went, but we basically said like I don't think this is healthy right now. And that was pre any COVID rumors. And
Hmm.
shortly after that, I was praying every night, and I just kept feeling in my soul like go home, move home. I moved all my stuff back to Cleveland to like be with my family and my younger brothers who were I think like 11 at the time, 11 and 10. And then it's like lockdown. So I was like, oh, okay. But the trend in that sense, I felt peace. And that year, Sway in the Morning he had a lockdown freestyle
Hmm.
program he would do where he would live stream, he'd go on IG Live and guest people and they'd spit. So I did that. So like that was a very, very important moment to me because ever since I was 15, that was like bucket list. I'm gonna rap for Sway and I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna rap for Sway and I'm gonna kill it. Um, and so I did that, but things just kind of, I don't know. It's hard to say how it happened exactly, but I started to not value music as much. I started to almost be like kind of trepidatious about going into it because I realized how much pride and self-centeredness came with it, just personally.
No,
And
that's right. Rap
Yeah.
is grabbing your nuts, and that's completely like that's completely contradicting what God wants you to be.
yeah,
So
Mm.
that's like that duality is like very draining because God wants you to be selfless. He wants you to be kind. He wants you to be loving and spread that love and kindness. Be forgiving, and rap is grabbing your nuts and FTW. You know what I'm saying?
that's right.
So like that makes sense. And then you were also speaking about pandemic, where that was weird times where a lot of us slipped into depression like unknowingly.
Mm,
But
Hmm.
then it was some who were aware to where you could just value family in those moments, and it was some of us that was just like, why is this happening to us? When is it gonna be over?
mm,
And everybody didn't have the sight to see what was the most important throughout that experience in those months where we weren't allowed to enjoy the simple things that we enjoyed and took for
mm.
granted after being told we have to be here, we have a curfew. It all reminded me of V is for Vendetta. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
But man, that's what the lockdown
Sorry,
for
guys.
damn sure reminded me of. It's all right, bro. Like
I haven't seen a lot of
it was
movies.
already a niche movie, so
Okay.
like no matter how old it really was, I don't expect a
If
lot of
you watch
people
it now, it relates to a lot of shit we
a
going through now.
lot.
If you watch it now.
Like V for Vendetta actually was like one of the most viewed movies. Like it was ranking like top within like the last couple of months. But it reminds me of what's going on in the world right now. Seeing that movie when it first came out was kind of crazy to me. Like, this is crazy, but watching it now in 2025, it
It's
was
scary.
almost like they were prepping us. It was,
Wow.
man. It's crazy.
When did it come out?
I want to say 2006,
Oh,
maybe
wow.
2007,
Yeah.
I believe.
That's a while ago.
But
I want to ask you guys what, like, for 2020, like where everything, like what was like, if you could extrapolate the biggest lesson you learned from that time, like what do you think you gained like as a human
I'm not on
from
my
that time?
time. I'm on God's time.
Hmm.
That's what I learned. Everything's slow, especially when Kobe died. Kobe died. That was like the precursor right before COVID. Kobe died right before COVID, and that year was just shit. Kobe hit me so hard, and then COVID just made me numb because we all stuck in the house. So I just picked up running, started trying to fix things that I was neglecting. I was at the crib all the time, so
Hmm.
check was coming in, bills was getting paid, but the biggest thing I learned was I'm never on my own time. I'm on God's time.
Hmm. Like a worldwide timeout.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you?
I wore a tinfoil hat, man. I already knew what was going on, dude. Like, and I slipped
My
into
wife's
depression.
hyped. She's like, me too.
Yeah, I wore the tinfoil hat. Like for the first week or two, I was a little nervous because at that time I had a 2-year-old. So like I ain't even like, and I couldn't like laugh. And looking back on it, when you say it, it kind of makes me laugh because I'm like, man, I can't believe I was closing the windows. I didn't want my kid to be outside.
Hmm.
I didn't know what the hell was going on, and like it was even a point in time where my kid got cabin fever when I would go take out the trash because this is even before I bought a home. We were living in a town home and out in Willoughby, and when I would take the trash, my 2-year-old be putting on her shoes like, "Can I go, Daddy? Can I go?" So, like me not knowing, seeing that there were so many restrictions on things, it made me emotional about her future,
Hmm.
and that's where I really thought about the future so much. I wasn't even thinking about me in that present moment because literally, it's embarrassing to say, y'all, but I got drunk every day and played GTA with my friends and my cousins, but it was that depression that even that I spoke about. I slipped into a depression like unknowingly
Hmm.
because of the restrictions, and I'm very rebellious. And that's one thing I know about myself. And you tell me to not do something that wasn't even on my radar, but now I want to do it because you told me not to do it.
Yeah.
So to have this government lockdown and these restrictions, and there's a whole new way of living as far as even like Walmart's not even 24 hours anymore. Like I can't even go to Walmart and
Right.
get something I need at 1 o'clock in the morning. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Man, it bothered me mentally. But in that moment, it made me really fearful for my kid and what the future looked like. Just to be like, yeah, he was right in the beginning. This was We were all test subjects. But if I had like in this moment, while just speaking out loud and talking through it, it's just more so cherish people because we lost a lot of people in that time.
Hmm.
There was a lot of people who didn't make it. It was more so older people as well. Older people I wish I would have had time with. I lost a friend during that time as well, but it wasn't due to COVID or anything. It was a mental health situation. So, just to backpedal, it's just more so valuing your relationships with people and cherishing those people.
Yeah. You feel like that time, like, you feel like you got to be more present with your daughter during that time?
Absolutely, absolutely, because it wasn't no daycare, you know.
Yeah.
So as I'm sitting there and I'm playing GTA, she would just come up and just sit there and watch me play GTA, and she'd come hang out with me. Around that time I also bought a camera, so that was my first test subject. I would take pictures of her and practice photography, and she just loved taking pictures
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So And it was brief because, when you have a kid, and, I never got to have that lifestyle where my mom and dad was in the same household, but having a kid that has a mom and a dad, they don't even really know where to channel their time and their energy, but for the most part, they came on a mom, so they're gonna be around mom. Hold on, daddy's up there quiet, or he's making noise. Let's go see what daddy's doing.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, I just came to see you, dad. Well, and it wasn't in those that verbiage because she was only 2, but it was like,
Mm.
hey, daddy, just want to see what you're just doing. All right, I'm gonna go back downstairs with mommy, and then it was like patrol.
Yeah.
20 minutes with dad, hour and a
Mhm.
half with mom.
Mm.
15 minutes with dad, 2 hours with mom.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Just want to see what you up there doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a connection there.
You said she was 2 around that time? Wow. Ooh.
So let's the backpedal just a little bit because you got on us, man. I want to backpedal. It's all
Curious.
right. I know. I welcomed it. I want to know, what was it like being a part of in real life? You were powered by a machine. In my in my
Well,
in my personal opinion, when you have those reality TV shows that have an incentive at the end, I always feel like it's for ratings. And then the contestants who are the winners, you get a taste of what it's like. But the entire mission was literally about the ratings
right.
and the network as opposed to what you
Exactly.
wanted to do. So what was that like being controlled by the machine? Well, not can't control, but influenced and pushed by the machine to now you over here making your own decisions. And what was that transition like?
That was a fire question.
Appreciate
That
you.
was sick. Controlled by the machine. Yeah, that's it. It. I tell people this all the time. That was my college experience. So that was what I love to do, but all these restrictions and professors, labeled radio, like I just look at it as my college experience. I got to go with my bros and we got to tour and experience what was always left up to the imagination without getting too into it. And looking back, I'm really it, it's it's a priceless gift that I was given because I just if someone dangles something shiny in front of me, I'm like I don't know. And when people like when people get uncomfortable when you're like I don't know,
Hmm.
that's what like you start to notice uh I don't know when someone wants to, you know, manipulate you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say it, but but I yeah learned a lot of lessons in a safe environment because I imagine if we were the biggest thing in the world, I don't know what we would have turned to. Like just being real, I
Mm.
don't know if I would have not turned to drugs. I don't know if I would have had a problem with this or that or what like different vices. We were very protected and that to me is the gift because I got to experience it with yeah without the like crazy yeah
Yeah.
no yeah scars. I mean there's stuff we went through for sure, but um yeah I don't know
Yeah.
if I answered your question.
Just you talked about that, okay, there, but what was that transition like to now being solo now?
Hmm.
You had to answer half. So you had that machine behind you, but then transferring to now I'm about to rap. And now you got to make all your own decisions or with the support that you do have. So whatever friends are around that are lingering around to help you make these decisions, those table I like to call it round table talks. When you're around with your people at the table and you talk about what we should do, what's best for the brand of Conor Michael Smith.
Man, to be honest I have a lot of regrets in that department. Well, I think during 2020 I got real like deep dive into my faith just because like these different moments I would have, I'm like, okay, now I'm just sitting down every day, like who is God? Like, let me look into like the Bible and like just get into things and see how this aligns and feels. And um, at that point, it's like music just kind of became this small thing. It was everything to me, and that time kind of reduced it. Like, this isn't everything. This isn't all who you are. You're meant to
Mm.
be. So there were a lot of time. Like, I could have hustled. I could have put everything into the music and capitalized off the audience I had before, but I felt like that mentality. I didn't like the way I was thinking like that, because it was all about like serving people and like bringing value to them. Like, that's all the intuitive feelings I was getting. And so, like you said, with what rap is or can be, it was this like, I don't know. I don't know if I can be all this and all this at the same time. So I'm just gonna chill and let God do whatever He wants to do. Um, so I found a lot of value in just hanging out with my brothers and sisters and my parents. Because like I said before, like our
Mhm.
relationship wasn't that great. So this time gave us an opportunity to connect in a better way. And yeah, and I still like I did the sway thing, and I had music, but I didn't like go after. I think I would have given myself more grace to go after it, you know?
Mm.
Because there's also this shift in the last year. I don't know if y'all noticed, like with like Instagram and their engagement, like they do not give out likes the same way anymore.
Mm.
It's not a I know it's not a personal thing, because like everyone I see just like it was like, which is fine, but restarting the music career,
Mhm.
I'm thinking like I have made a deep connection with my audience, from the small shows I've done to the live streams to the like we did this campaign for charity and Notes for Notes together, and like we just had this real tight knit like community fan base. And so I think when I came back, I think I expected it to be more, but the biggest lesson I'm learning right now is to work with what you got. And like when David was before David was ever king, he had to watch the sheep really well. And I'm sure there were, it says there were like lions and bears and stuff he had to fight off to protect those sheep. But little did he know that those sheep would turn into like the kingdom that he would have one day. And it's not, I don't feel like I desire like a kingdom, but it's just like a metaphor to show that like I've just felt like make sure the things that are in front of you are done really well. And if you feel like there's a dissatisfaction with the place that you are in life, maybe there's something you're missing, something you've like neglected that's been there the whole time. So I'm like constantly seeking around like what's immediately around me. And I have peace over that, because I know that my big thing right now is I would love to, I would like, man, of course, like I want to sell out Wrigley Field, dude. I want to, I see it. I see these visions, but just as a older man now, I don't want that at the expense of my marriage or
I
like.
feel older man
I
though.
know, man. Let
I'm
him
sorry,
breathe.
I'll
guys.
let
Let
him
him
I'm
live.
sorry.
breathe.
I'll let him
As a
live.
as an older adolescent, I don't want that if it costs this. Like I think
Mm.
I believe in this particular era there is a more authentic and grounded way to do it. It's not the machine how it was before, where oh you're a rapper, hope you get signed.
Mm.
It's like no, like just be yourself, post it online, and your audience will gravitate.
I feel like a lot of these experiences and things that you're talking about shows up in all good things come in time for sure. I really do because even on the song Sunset, I feel like you are going
Mm.
back and forth with God. And it's like at a point in time where you want, it goes back to like your childhood when you was trying to hold everybody accountable but yourself. And you point the finger at God like, I'm tired of being patient. Like I'm tired of being patient. I want this to work. I want this to happen. Like talk about like those emotions.
Mm.
Because I feel like we just leading up to, because it's just dropped.
Yeah.
It hasn't been like super long.
No, it
It's-
hasn't. Uh,
So speak on the emotions and the experiences that you put into the album.
Man, it was like everything I've been through the last 5 years. I thought this might be my last chance to do this, so let me just give them. The album sequentially is a story. It tells a story from front to back
Mhm.
of someone who starts off searching and then at the end realizes they're not alone. And like with, uh, you bring up Sunset, like that one, man, like I feel like you just like hit something here because I'd be lying if I said I don't feel that way still.
Mhm.
Like I could sit here and be like, yeah, I'm mature and this and that and life's all good, but I'd be lying if I wasn't mad sometimes. Like look at what I've done for you. Like look at how much I've changed. Look at my work. Look at
Mhm.
I mean, word says your works don't get you to heaven. It's
Mhm.
only it's only by His grace that we're saved. But without faith, but without
Well,
works,
works, faith,
yeah,
faith is dead.
faith is dead. So it's that tension of like, I know you're supposed to, but you don't give stuff to people when they don't do the work. But I'm not supposed to idolize this. But
And you don't want to be quid pro quo with God. I'm doing
yeah,
this to just receive.
yeah,
So it's just like, but yet I am doing the right thing, so I don't get fucked over in the
yeah,
end. Like, so it's a lot of that. I want to get this right because I feel like the song that came right after that should have just been a part two. It's kind of like you was finding yourself like redeeming yourself to a certain degree and holding yourself accountable.
mm,
Um, what was it? Yeah, it'll be all right.
that's right.
So I feel like that was like the part two of it.
It
So you
was.
was just like, okay, I'm gonna. But you keep finding yourself there, Connor. Do you notice that? And you'll probably even the way you live your life, like this dichotomy of it's a polarization. It's like back and forth.
Yeah,
Your spirit is playing
tug of
paddle.
war, ping pong.
Yep, just back and forth
Yeah,
constantly. Um, and I know that could be difficult at times, but it definitely shows up in a good way in the music for our ears.
thank
A
you.
lot of the production is, it seems like with a live band, or it's at
It's a
times
lot of
of,
live instrumentation.
yeah, a lot of live instruments. And it goes back to your parents forcing you to do violin.
Thank God.
Um,
Thank you, mom and dad, for real.
just talk about the production behind the album and the thought process.
Production was interesting because it spans such a wide range of time. For example, the song Wrigleyville. I made that in 2020, and that's the anthem, like the get on up, the
Mhm.
you know, you got this. And when I wrote it originally, it was actually a letter to my future self. This is like pre-COVID when I had written and recorded it. And so as I was sequencing the album, like Sunset came after that.
Mm.
Like as far as like the writing, a lot of these were beats. Like, okay, I'll speak on the production first, because I got a lot of shout outs for this. Um, well, I feel like I need to like narrow my focus on like one thing so I don't just like
I get you.
you know what I'm saying? Like okay, Sunset and It'll Be Alright. Those were beats produced by Caleb Seeger. Caleb's a really great friend of mine. we grew up on like adjacent streets, and there's like this uh, basketball court with a church in the middle of our neighborhoods, and like we would just like link up and make beats there at my spot. So he made Sunset and It'll Be Alright um, just by himself and sent it over in a pack. And during 2020, I would go on these walks and just be like downloading lyrics. So like he made those beats in a major like I added strings and we added some guitar on it. But like Wrigleyville and 2000 Guns with those like that's a lot of live instrumentation. Like you got bass, you got horns and like so much stuff. Like the strings and the piano and the choir. That was my good friend John Lindahl. John's an incredible producer. He is a great friend. And then the last song from Me to You, I'll save that for last. But the intro, whatever it takes, inside out, I actually produced myself. A majority of that with the help of my friend Brendan. And then, yeah, intro and whatever it takes. Where this guy Brendan Keenan out of New York, I got to put the final touches on the album at this place called Cove City Sound Studios, and it's a absolutely legendary studio. One of my favorite artists, John Bellion, has done like all of his albums out of there. So it was like very cool to be in that same world. So like basically, I had all these different types of vibes, and we just brought it in and kind of made it cohesive with the additions. So whether that was extra violin or bass or whatever it was. Yeah.
You did a hell of a job. It sounds good, man.
Thank you.
Sounds really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Kids liked it. That's always a good selling point for me when the kids like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You played it for?
Yeah, I play it for my kids. Typically, when we have a guest, I put the music on for the kids and let them decide what they think.
Was there like a particular one you felt like they?
My daughter wants to dance to It'll Be Alright.
Hmm.
So she wants to dance to that song. So she does ballet. So it's usually she listens to songs and she creates her own rendition through dance. And we just getting her ready for certain things that's coming up in her life in terms of performances and auditions and things of that nature. So she picks a different song every week. She usually performs it for us, and we just record it and try to keep an archive.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not the one I thought he would say. That's actually like that means a lot to me, just because. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe people sleep on that song a little bit, but that's
No, I
awesome.
hear, bro.
You already know as an artist the stuff that you love that's deep to your heart. The people don't never like it, and they always like the ones that that are the furthest away from your heart.
Yeah, that can happen too. Well, sometimes sometimes you make something so effortlessly that you think this can't be good, and then that's what people resonate. It's the just natural moment. I think I can fall victim to sometimes trying to. Is it perfect? Is it this? Should I retake it? Should I have this? Did I say this word weird? Are people gonna think? And it'd be the. I think that's why like the freestyles that I do. I think are struck. You guys can obviously tell. Like I think a lot. I overthink stuff. I can be a little too like nitpicky on stuff, but I think I'm trying to take that discipline of like really refining something and making sure it's good and using that in the preparation stage and learning what is meant to be like ridiculed and churned and carefully sewn in and what's meant to just be free. So a lot of that, like even when I do the freestyles, I mean that's like hours and hours and hours of writing and practicing my voice and my tone and how I'm gonna deliver in my hands and then when I
do with my hands, Ricky?
Yeah, and then when the moment comes up, I'm like, forget everything. I'm just going.
Yeah.
It's like you know how Michael Jackson, he would just over and over and over, and then when he gets on stage, it's like the discipline and the scrutinization can create a more expressive freedom.
Mhm.
But sometimes, you know, it's too intense. It's too much.
I get you. I got a question.
Yeah.
Because I would like to say you're a musician.
Hmm.
Do you ever feel conflicted between being the musician or just being a rapper since you wanted to rap?
I'm in
Because
that right now.
do you know who Godier is?
Gaudier, like somebody that I used to. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Are you familiar like Godier plays like multiple instruments?
I'm not, but I'm sure.
Godier is kind of like Imogen Heap, like plays a lot of instruments. And like for people who are like naturally talented like you, and then like you have the work, you're classically trained. I don't know your skill level at 6, but I would kind of say it's safe to say you were a prodigy. So
Appreciate that.
why
Hey.
wouldn't you
Mhm.
leaning into a musician and just make good music? Like prime example, Tyler the Creator. He
Right.
hates being boxed in as a rapper, even though he is a rapper.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But his instrumentality of being able to compose these songs, sing that he's the producer, he's the rapper, he's the vocals on these songs. He's like, no, I'm not just a rapper.
Right.
Because like I always told people when people ask like who was Tyler Creator, I'm like, that's Pharrell's son.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
when you think about it, it's his own sound. But when if you were an NERD fan and if you
Mm-hmm.
followed Pharrell, that like from the chords,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
way that he layers his vocals, even using some of the same sounds
Mm.
and making those same sounds sound differently.
Mm.
And he's made hit records off the same sounds.
Yeah.
Just the layering of the voice, and then he just happened to raps over it.
Yeah.
And you learn how to sing on that journey.
Mm.
And I even like when I first turned your music on, I was like, this kind of like some Drake shit. But
Mhm.
it wasn't just because of like the subject matter, but because while rapping, you would vocalize the end of a bar, but then go back into rapping, and that's
Mhm.
kind of like how he came to us.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Shout out Drake.
Mhm.
So even beyond that, with you playing the violin, the piano, you have all these different instruments. You are doing what these producer rappers would come up with the melody and be like, I want you to be on the piano and go,
Mm.
You can just play it.
Mhm.
You
Right.
don't have to hum and beatbox to somebody what you
Mhm.
want played. You can play these things.
Yeah. I think that's where I get, to be honest, I just get overwhelmed a little bit because I can, I'm also like, I'm very realistic with myself.
Hmm.
So, for example, if I make a beat, I mean, let's not even go there first. Just rap. I didn't show people, I never told people I rapped until I felt like I would listen to this freestyle. I would watch this guy. I would listen to
Mhm.
Busta Rhymes or whoever, and then I would go and I would feel like I low-key killed that. Like, okay, that's like comparable in a way. I never, I'm like very much like, I know this is a precious thing, so I need to make sure if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna really do it. And so with music, it's that times piano, violin, drums, and then I'm sitting. This is why the album was hard for me to. It took so long. Was I was like, is this snare EQ'd to the? Oh,
Mhm.
what's a high pass filter? Like, oh, wait, but what if we do that over here? And then if I do that, what's the inverse of that? And then it's like I'm doing this, and then it's like, hold on, just go rap.
So a new term that I had discovered, I had told you about it, was being manic creative.
Yeah.
It's a it's like a subcategory of being bipolar. But it's like it is. I had to really do a lot of research. I had told you about it, but I kept looking into it. And it's when you overly create. It's to the
Mm,
point where you overly critical, you sleep less. I don't know what your sleeping pattern was throughout making the album.
mm,
But just creating to a certain degree where um it's almost like hurting the work. You feel me? When you was going through the album to a certain degree, it just seems like you was battling with yourself instead of letting it flow.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good way of putting it. Yeah, and I mean, thankfully I have like friends who I can really like we think similarly, but a lot of them can just do the thing I want to do quicker. Like with Wrigleyville and John just like my friend Caleb, he like played those chords, and then John was like, "Oh, the drum should be like this," and he's like, and he's like, "Oh, I'm hearing something," and make this incredible thing, and I just got to sit back and do me. And I've also found that my most successful moments have always come from when I've got like support, you know.
Or look at it this way, when you're not in control,
Exact. Yeah. Yeah.
when you can let go.
Yes. Yeah. And so, well, so I will say that, but then on the flip side, to go to your point, one moment that I got to do it all was the intro of the album. I did
Mhm.
it. It was so awesome because I sat down at the piano and I was like, I just need to make something that will go perfectly into whatever it takes. Because I felt like whatever it takes was like the intro, but it didn't feel right just starting it off. Do 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 do. I was like, no, that's not it. Let me like,
A
you know
prelude.
how like in Late Registration he did the
Mhm.
Wake Up Mr. And like it was the.
Mhm.
I was like, let me do something like that. So I took the same chords,
Mhm.
but then I was like, searching. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do like hands on the clock. And Brendan, who's at the studio in New York, he's just sitting there on his laptop. Like an hour goes by, and I have this whole thing written. This like it's like this poem that just encompasses because the rest of the album was done at that point. And I remember looking up. I'm like, I think this is what we should do for the intro. And he's like, I just recorded all of that, like 54 minutes. So then we spent the next hour listening back, like, oh yeah, that, recorded it properly. Like I played the keys, the strings, he did the bass, and had a lot of detailed ideas to add to it at the end. But that was a very free process where I got to do like all of it. So I definitely want more of those moments, and I see myself in maybe 5 to 10 years having more confidence in that. I mean, even matter of fact, this next joint is fully produced by me, which is also which is yeah. Uh, so I am
Mhm.
stepping more into that and having. I think it's just the confidence, man. I know that I'm not the I can play piano, but I'm not the best piano player. I can play violin, but I'm not the best violinist. But I feel like when I rap, I feel like I'm the best. Like I just feel that confidence with
Mhm.
that. So I think that's why I yeah, try to like you said, it's like letting go, but yeah.
Yeah, you gotta invite me to a session, man. Mhm.
For sure.
I just want to sit in on it.
Real quick, y'all, let's take a real quick word from our sponsors. We'll be right back with y'all.
Men in the Den is where Black men come to grow, heal, and lead together. We create intentional spaces for intergenerational connection, mentorship, and honest conversation. Because when men support men, our families and our communities thrive. Through workshops, circles, and community-centered programs, we challenge harmful narratives, build emotional wellness, and empower men to show up fully in every area of their lives. If you're ready to be part of a brotherhood that transforms, uplifts, and inspires, this is your space. Visit Men in the Den Org on Instagram and join our mailing list for updates using the link in the bio. Hear directly from some of our members who have experienced healing through our programs. Their stories are a testament to the strength found when generations unite.
Men in the Den has given me like a camaraderie, like, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes a man just be with his people or his person, or you know what I'm saying? So like it gives me like a real sense of community. Like I made like new partners. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that makes me feel really good.
Brothers, being able to just talk about life, marriage, or if you're not married, girlfriends, you know, job, and not being judged by anybody, not being afraid to say something and someone getting mad at you, or not being able to take what you're telling them. Here is just, it's no judging. And so, in essence, people come and they talk more and more and more, and we dive deeper and deeper emotionally, which men are afraid to do, show their emotional side. So when we tap into that, it's truly awesome.
There's a place for you with the men in the den. So even if you come just to your first den talk just to listen, and even if you come all the way up to your 5th session and you still listening, the point is you're gonna learn about everybody that you interact with, because we all different, but our stories are close aligned and we thinking some of the same things. Or if we're not on that same page, just know some brother that you're gonna interact with in that session has been on that page that you on and can help you get to the next chapter.
Welcome back, y'all.
Back at it.
Yes, we are back at it, man.
I need to address something real quick.
Let's get it.
I'm sitting here in the middle, and to my left we've got Jordan 5s, and right here we've got Jordan 11s. I'm the only one here with LeBrons. I feel like this is like a generational battle we're going through right now.
I don't think
I don't.
MJ better than Bron though. I never felt like that.
Honestly, I would probably have more Brons too, but I was poor in the peak of in the peak of some of the best LeBrons, and then my favorite LeBrons are just trashed. They were trashed. I ended up playing basketball in them, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you know, I shouted you out for those, man, because I haven't seen those in a while. The only person I know for a fact that has those still to date is my boy Damo. Shout out to Last Resort Vintage.
That's right.
But my boy,
I'll tell you, these are like original, which is crazy to say about a LeBron. What's funny is the year after I got like these from Flight Club in New York, they retroed them. I was so sick. They retroed these in like 2020.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
what
so
was that?
sick about it. But yeah, these were like
Damn
one of my favorites as a kid. So I was like, when I'm older, like I'm gonna get those.
Yeah, man, I love them. That orange is sick, man. That was like that set the entire tone for all-star sneakers, because shortly after that time, and that was when the Galaxy foam posits came
Yeah, that was
out.
the same. Was that the same year?
Actually, it was, because I did say those were the all-star ones. I want to say, yeah.
Yeah, it was these. The
And
Blake
the
Griffin had
KDs.
some crazy. Yeah, the KDs, the silver joints.
That's when they had the red tag on the Galaxy phone.
Yeah.
The All-Star game was in New York that year.
And then it was the
Yeah.
the Barkley posits too, the Galaxy Barkley posits. Those are crazy
Yes,
as well.
yeah, the Barclays.
That was
That was a great.
I
posit
feel like
rim.
Kobe had what did he have? The 7 at the time. It was the 7s. Yeah, it was the orange ones with because he had the Galaxy theme as well. It was like orange with the silver and black. Yeah.
That was a great time in sneakers, man. I had so many I was stockroom manager. I had so many shoes hidden in the stockroom that I couldn't afford. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get them, baby. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get 'em.
Reserve them for
Never got them. He was working to pay rent, man.
Yeah.
That was a tough time though, but I appreciate it for sure, for sure. It built character because you had to prioritize. Well, I had to prioritize. What was more important, eating or sneakers?
I'm in that season right now, actually. Yeah.
Hey, man, you've been preaching this whole entire time. Like, for those who tapped in that know, you know, but he has been preaching this entire time. And I remember my time with the immature mind. I can't remember it verbatim, but it's like, the birds don't worry about what they're gonna eat. So why do you have to worry about what you're gonna eat or what you're gonna wear? You get what I'm saying? And reading that as an immature, with an immature mind, I'm like, man, I gotta stay fresh, man. Jesus tripping. But having responsibilities, and you know, once you have that ordained covenant that he blesses, you know that there's more important things that's going on. You
That's
know what
right. I
mean?
feel like because I'm married, that verse is more imprinted because I see it more. It's like the man. I just feel like when you're like, since I've been married, like there's certain things that I know like it's not from my own strength. Like he's like, no, I gotta keep you like good for her and y'all together. Like just transparently, like today I had a 6.5 hour shift at UPS, so I
Mhm.
do like seasonal support delivery.
Mm.
And we're in a situation right now where we gotta make sure we're good by the end of the month, and so I'm very much in that season right now. Even when you were talking earlier about making sure, like bro, the LeBron 23s just dropped, and I feel like that's the hardest Bron since like the 12,
Yeah.
and I want them, but I can't get them right now. Like we gotta prioritize certain things. I want those. It's the grand opening pair,
Mhm.
the homage to the Zoom
Yeah,
generation
seen those.
one.
They're supposed to have like velvet on them or something too,
Yeah,
right?
they're hard, and the St. Vincent St. Mary ones are dropping too. So
I'm glad you
Yeah,
said
them
that.
stowaways though. You just buy them and collect them. You don't even wear them.
Man, you gotta wear your sneakers. They're dry rot.
Right, you gotta just seal them in the.
The
Yeah,
the
I'll
best
be
thing
sealing it.
the best thing I can say for peace of mind is a lot of LeBron shoes haven't been selling out because
Yeah, you
what
gonna
what
get
number
them.
you said we're on right now?
we're
This
on
is
23.
23 to 22s, the Monopoly collab. Them were crazy.
I I tuned them out.
Bro, I
Can't
gotta
even
show
lie
you
to
real
you.
quick, man, because and they never sold out either.
Hmm.
To the point I watched them, but it's like LeBron makes shoes for basketball players.
Hmm.
Those aren't like they're not like how they were in the beginning, how they were cool with
Yeah, you
Hooping
could wear them.
freestyle.
shoes are
Do
not
y'all
walk
remember
around shoes no more.
yeah,
They're not. They're
do y'all remember the
uncomfortable.
jogger era
Yeah.
where like they had like the cuff joints with the
hmm
khakis and you'd have the
hmm
like I remember specific like the LeBron 10s. Like that was one of woo, those are hard. I
This
wasn't
is a
even hip to
Monopoly
those.
collab, bro.
Wow.
So I want to give you a little tidbit about that. A lot of people don't know about that. Are you familiar with Ronnie Fieg,
Yeah.
Kith?
Yeah, Kith
He's
A6.
he
hmm
Yeah.
started that,
He started
the jogger.
really.
Yeah. So he had made a sample. He said it was about because I remember my sister sent me the pants. It was more so of a cuff like this,
Mm-hmm.
and it was at the bottom of like some camel pants. He had camel, he had black, and he had khaki, and it was
Mm.
called the Mercer pant. And
Mm.
then after Ronnie Fag dropped the Mercer pant, it was the Kith Mercer pants. Joggers exploded everywhere,
Mm.
but it was literally like a cuff like this. So then when you seen people that made like the version that kind of looked like this on pants, it was like, nah, that's not the real one because Ronnie Fogg designed
Yeah.
the cuff like the sleeve, and he did it because he wanted to show off the shoes. Because at the time, people wore pants that went over the shoes.
Mm.
But Ronnie Fogg was the pioneer for that. Like he didn't patent it or anything like that.
Wow. I didn't know that. But yeah, I remember like I would I would follow all these sneaker pages, like the Kicks on Fire, Nice Kicks, Sneaker News, like all those ones, and it was always like I used to post shoe pictures on my Instagram. Like it'd
hmm
be I would like set the camera up down and I would like press the
KOTD.
timer and like make sure the angle was right and you're catching
hmm
the
One toe up, the other one all the way up.
yeah,
hmm
yeah.
Like that
This
was
one guy, his name was Uptown 2K. I don't know if but he had the craziest. Like he would go on a bridge. He was on this. I think he was on like Brooklyn Bridge or something.
hmm
There was a puddle in the ground, and he like lightly stepped in it with it was either some bronze or like the Red October Yeezys, and he like lifted the shoe up and caught like the like it was like, people would go crazy with the shoe. I haven't seen one shoe pick in like 10 years. I feel like.
This reminded me of a point in time. That sounds like 2015,
Hmm.
2016. That was a great time, man. That was before
Unbelievable.
the reseller area and everything, man. I really enjoyed that time with sneakers
Mm.
because you could still go in the store and get a pair of sneakers,
Yeah.
as opposed to that was even, well, I can't say that was before bots because bots was always around. It was just a different term. It was called like sniping at the, back in our day. But yeah, the bots, it just wasn't a heavy situation. You didn't have to worry about missing out on the shoe. Only quite a few people were doing it. But then, consumerism kills everything. So then people
Mm.
who were making the bots were selling the bots.
Yeah.
So it was like compounded money. Like, I don't even care about the sneakers, but I say the technology how to get the sneakers and get the money.
Yeah.
and then everybody started getting bots, and it kind of killed sneaker
It
culture.
really did. It really did, yeah. I don't feel like there's anything in that time. I mean, that's when like the designer stuff started to pop off too. I wasn't really into that as much.
So with the crazy journey that you had, I can't even say crazy. I'm gonna call it enlightening and eventful. With the eventful journey that you've had, and as you stand here today as a man and a husband, what are you most grateful for?
Most grateful for. Oh man. There's two things. There's two things. I would say that I still like number one is that I feel like I get closer to God every day. I do. I realize he's a cool dude. He's not a dude. He's not a dude. He's not like me. Like he's way grander and more awesome and just knows me better than myself. And it's even during a circumstance that I'm in right now where I just feel peace over, you know, delivering UPS or, I'm coaching fifth grade basketball right now as well. Like shout out Falcons. They're about to crush them this season. Um, and not necessarily having what like my flesh wants or like the artistry, um, knowing that he's in the small things, he's in the small moments every day, and he's always there, ready to listen. I think that's the most grateful thing. It's like number one. Number two is uh, sitting to the left of the camera, which is my wife. I think without her, I would just mostly be caught up in with like what I want from life. And I've learned over the years that not everything that I want is good for me. So having a person to reflect really who I am, I realize if I'm dissatisfied with something in life or if I think I'm dissatisfied with her or this situation, it usually comes back around to like that's really because you did this and you thought this, so then you did that, and like you did it, instead of external, instead of life just happening to me. It's like this is coming from you. And I think yeah, she just keeps me accountable and like I think I would be like if I could go like this in life, I think that'd be terrible. I don't think I would have direction. Like she gives me like, no, we're gonna do this, and I think we're going farther than I ever would have gotten myself. So yeah, and so many of my opportunities have been as a result, I think, of our marriage. I mean, that was another reason I waited a long time to drop music was because I was like, we got to get this right first. I'm not about to go. I'm the guy. I'm the music. Like the glory, worship, honor, praise, like to me, and then you're like second fiddle. Like that's not how I. That didn't feel right. So I knew that it would take some time for us to process who we are, what our mission is collectively, and make sure that no matter like yeah, basically music had to. It was like for a while it was me, God, and then music. Like music was my God, and as long as I was doing stuff with music, like God and I were cool. But then music started to not do so well, and I had to realize that okay, God's on top, but then you bring in another person, you think I'm here, she's here, then like music's here, God's here, and then like no, God's here, she's here, you guys are here, then music. It's really like let me do this one more time. It's God, us, and then there's a bunch of subcategories that fall under that. And learning that is not easy. And uh, good luck out there.
If there was one piece of work that you could be remembered by, whether it's a song, um, a collection, a body of work, however you want, a symphony, what would it be?
It's something that I've done.
Something that you inspired to do, something you've done, something you want to be remembered by.
Oh man. I mean, I really, I, again, it's like I walk this line of how do I want to be remembered? You know, like, do I want to be remembered for the music I made? Do I want to be remembered just for like being a good guy? Like, you know what I mean? Like because they're like people get asked this question. I feel like you hear answers and they're like, I just want to be known as the good, like a good man or whatever. It's like, no, you don't. Like, you want like a good man who had like this amount of money and this amount of success and impacted the world in this way. And so I don't want to like sit here and lie and say I don't want to leave an impact, but uh, I think my soul wants to be remembered as obedient. Yeah, as obedient, and that's where I'm at in life. I have to question my motives all the time because if it doesn't line up with what God wants for me, then I know I'm wasting time. I've been given, uh, my wife and I, we talk about this all the time. We have been given this life and all the gifts we've been given. We've also been given the trauma and the pain and the hurt, but it's all part of the package, and it's our responsibility to move through it with him. And he's the only one who knows how to like navigate us through. So if sorry, I'm going on like another thing, but
I do want to help get you back on track then for clarification. When you say be obedient, is this being obedient to under God, or when you say being, well, these are the same things kind of. When you say obedient, is it just being obedient to the word, or obedient being obedient evangelist?
I don't know. That's a tension I'm in as far as sharing my faith. It's the guiding force for 100% of my life. But I know how people, I know how I know how it was when I was searching, and so I never want to be like the unapproachable, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I think there's certain moments that are more. I have a lot. I would say I evangelize when the moment will call for it, but I don't just like I'm not like on the street like, yo, gotta, you know.
That's a whole different mission.
Yeah, but I think there's a part of me that is be more like the next chapter is a little more outspoken. Like I said, the album, I'm searching, realize I'm not alone, realizing the blessings I have. Now I want to share it. I want to share what that life is like with others, and allow them into the good part of, you know, all good things come in time. Let's give you the good stuff. I know there's a lot of more heavier, darker stuff that I uh, painted and displayed on the last one. Um, but you know, life is good. Life is beautiful. Shout out Larry June. Um, um, Obedience to God, though, like the more I submit myself and try to serve and be curious as to what His will and His purpose is for my life, the funny enough, the more He looks out for me and the things that I actually want. Like, there's stuff that I want that, like, I've talked about the things that I want that aren't good for me. Like, He wants the stuff that's good for me, but I have to have, like, I'm really in the process of even reading and understanding like what His word says about who I am, and that is unlocking doors to opportunities that I've been trying to like get out of my own strength for the longest. And he's like, oh, here you go. You're ready now. I'm like, what? All I did was like, try to be a good, good employee today or this. And he's like, oh, hey, go do this podcast. Like, you ready? I'll let you talk. I'm like, okay. Like, okay, cool. And so I really, it used to be like every year I would have this big prayer. It's like Christmas. Like, all right, God, this year I want this. And it was like every week or like every couple months I'd check back in. And now I feel like it's every minute. Like I just catch myself like I don't even know what I do. And I'm like, am I okay? Like just a quick, when in school when they had the smart board and you had to like tap the joints to
We ain't had
recalibrate it.
That's
Sorry,
cool, bro.
guys.
It's all right, man. But I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, I seen that
we
on
got
TV.
we got it in college.
Yeah, you had to like recalibrate it so it would sound. That's how I feel like I'm constantly doing that. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you off camera how old we really are.
Yeah.
Do they not? Do they not know?
Who don't know?
The
The audience? They know.
Oh, the audience. We got a
They
pretty
fucking
diverse
know.
audience. We have a pretty diverse audience.
Yeah.
I don't even think the audience even really knows how old we are. It's like
They
if you
know.
know, you know. If you don't, it's all right. So before we get up out of here, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me all platforms at Conor Michael Smith. Wife just said I gotta have eye contact, so I'm gonna do it again. You can find me all platforms at Conor Michael Smith. Make sure you spell it Conor. Everybody spells it with two N's. It's one N, like McGregor. Michael Smith. It's happened a lot of times. Every time someone's like, "Where can I find you?" I like give them like Conor Michael Smith, and they're like Conner Michael Smith. And let me see it. I'll type it in.
It's Conor with one N, baby.
One N.
Creative Mindset family.
Simple guy.
Conor Michael Smith.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.